Alright, welcome to this new vlog. I am super excited about this one because this place has been on my bucket list for so many years. Italy. We are here for 2 weeks seeing how much of the country we can really explore. We are starting off here in Milan. You can see Sforzesco Castle behind me. From here, heading off to Lake Como, Venice, Cinque Terre, Florence, Rome, Naples, and more. So we've got an action-packed schedule for 2 weeks and so many things to do, so many sights to see, so let's get started. So we are walking around Sempione Park right now. It's very nice. And yeah, exploring the sights of Milan today before we head to Lake Como tomorrow. We are now at the Sforzesco Castle, and specifically we're here in the middle area, which is sort of like this plaza surrounded by a fort here. Okay, we are now at probably the most famous attraction in Milan, which is the Duomo di Milano. It's at this big plaza. Look how many people are here. Definitely the place to be. Okay, after a 1-hour train ride north of Milan, we are now at the beautiful Lake Como here, exploring the nearby cities. We are in Verona right now, and we'll be getting on a ferry to Bellagio soon as well. So currently we are walking at Villa Monastero, which is this botanical garden here in Verona, right next to Lake Como. It's pretty big and it's actually not that crowded, so a nice place to get some peaceful scenic views.
Wake up this morning, make the mistake of turning on the TV. Nothing but bad news, empty avenues rolling on the screen. Oh, walk to the kitchen and make myself a cup of coffee. Wave at the older man, getting a suntan on his balcony. Oh.
So, Verona and Bellagio are probably the two most popular towns on Lake Como for people to visit, and you have to take the ferry from one to the other. So we are waiting for the ferry now. It's a big line, as you might imagine, and yeah, one thing that you usually don't see on people's social media highlights are just how many people are here. So something to keep in mind. We are here in the beginning of October. I was hoping it'd be a little less busy than peak season, but still a lot of people nonetheless. Made it to Bellagio.
Tante luci, l'autostrada.
So one of the things that makes Bellagio so special and why so many people come is because it is in the middle of Lake Como. Lake Como is actually a sort of wishbone shape. So this is where the two sides of the lake meet in the middle, and you can see here on the northern part of Bellagio this great view of the lake.
Might need a little something. Gelato got me soaring. Out in California, shawty started rolling. Might need a little something.
it back to Milan.
Siamo in arrivo nella stazione di Venezia Santa Lucia, termine corsa del treno.
So this morning we took a 2.5-hour train from Milan to Venice. And right when you exit the train station here, you're faced with this beautiful view. Of course, Venice is unique because it's sort of set out into the water, so it almost feels like an island that you're going to. And of course, there's the famous Grand Canal here, and we're gonna spend the rest of the day today exploring what this popular city has to offer.
Notte senza stelle, solo luci giù in città. Magiche atmosfere, questo ritmo porterà. Se ti senti solo, basta chiedere alla luna. Spoglia di segreti, il lato oscuro brillerà.
We're now here in Piazza San Marco. You can see it is the main square of Venice. All these nice buildings around here. And behind me is the Basilica San Marco. Next to it is Doge's Palace and the big Campanile bell tower over there. Lots of people too.
Dimmi un po' stasera dove andrai. Un ultimo metro con direzione a Hawaii. Il tempo è come sabbia che il vento porta via. Tu non guardare indietro, lascia che sera sia. Se non vuoi più vivere a metà.
After a short ferry ride from the main part of Venice, we have made it to the island nearby of Murano, which similar Venice vibes, some fewer people, and it's actually famous for glass making.
Warm air, you're there every minute endless. Oh baby, you're my breeze. Sapphire skyline got me feeling reckless.
Okay, made it back to our hotel room. Now check out the view from this balcony. Good morning from Venice. Check out the sunrise view from our hotel balcony here. Today we are up early because it is a big transit day. We're taking a train from Venice through Florence, where we will be returning later in the trip, then another to Pisa, and then ultimately to Cinque Terre, where we will spend the next day and a half. So let's get on the road. Okay, now we have a couple hours here in Pisa on our way to Cinque Terre, and of course, the reason for coming to Pisa is to see the iconic Leaning Tower of Pisa. Here we are at the tower. You can see it really is leaning. Alright, several hours of train travel and 3 transfers later, we have made it to Cinque Terre. And specifically, we are now in the village of Rio Maggiore, one of the 5 coastal villages that make up the Cinque Terre coastline. Look how beautiful it is here.
Con lui volando lontano dalla terra, dimenticando le tristezze della sera, in paradiso oltre le nuvole.
So today is the first day of the trip with no train travel, which is a nice change. And we are starting with some focaccia by the sea. Main activity for today, is to hike along the Via dell'Amore across to the other villages of Cinque Terre. Okay, we are now on the Via dell'Amore, hiking from Rio Maggiore to Manarola, and you know, it's not the greatest weather today. It's very windy and a little drizzly. You can see some big waves in the water too, but we are doing what we can, hiking and then maybe taking some trains between the villages as well.
We'll both be in Tuscany, Italy, riding on a Vespa in a sunflower field. Yeah, warm wind blowing and birds are singing in cypress trees.
Oh man, we just hiked up all the way from sea level down there, up here, to reach our fifth and final village of Corniglia. Well, here is the view that we hiked up here for in Corniglia. Definitely something to keep in mind if you're visiting is all of the villages except Corniglia pretty much have the train station right at the town. Super easy to get to, except Corniglia is quite the trek to get up to. So I would recommend leaving it to the end of your exploration, because otherwise you might not have the energy to want to explore the other places. But it is pretty nice if you have the energy for it. Okay, so quick update here. We had quite the travel day so far. 2 train delays, 1 transfer, 1 missed train, and 3 hours of actual train travel. But we have finally made it to the city of Florence, and it is raining yet again. So we are spending our time indoors exploring one of the most famous art galleries in the world, the Uffizi Gallery. Alright, it is a new day, and today there is no rain in the forecast and no train travel, so that is good. We are purely exploring the city of Florence today, walking around, checking out the main sites, so let's go.
Ninfe della notte a danzare lì con te. Segui quel profumo, la tua voglia crescerà. Niente più tabù, basta chiedere alla luna e i tuoi desideri realizzare lei potrà. Niente più barriere.
Alright, now we are walking through the Bovoli Gardens, which are on the south side of Florence, and this was a park that was actually open to the public in the 1700s and was originally designed by the Medici family. Now it is a sort of open-air museum with, of course, a botanical garden and also some statues.
Dimmi un po' stasera cosa fai? Un ritmo di bongo, le danze tu aprirai. È come un uragano che tutto porta via. Siamo stelle cadenti, brilliamo di magia. Una nuova luce splenderà.
So we have saved the best for last here in Florence, and we are in the iconic Duomo right now, currently climbing up all these steps to get to the iconic dome at the top. Okay, after several hundred more steps of climbing, we finally made it to the top of the dome of the Duomo. And look at these panoramic views here.
When I take myself to Tuscany, Italy, riding on a Vespa in a sunflower field, yeah, warm wind blowing and birds are singing in cypress trees.
What a workout to get up there. So in addition to the Duomo, it's actually connected to this cathedral, which you saw too, next to the bell tower, and there's this other baptistry across the plaza as well. Alright, after an hour-and-a-half train ride this morning from Florence, we have made it to the capital city of Rome. We're here for the next several days, and our first stop is at this 2nd century castle, Castel Sant'Angelo.
Tra una vita e un'autostrada, somiglianze da follia.
Okay, well, unfortunately the rain is still with us here, but that's not going to stop us from exploring.
C'è un casello qual è? Quanta nebbia c'è in me? Fari gialli perché?
Alright, still raining, but we made it to the top of the castle and check out these panoramic views.
Strada ce n'è, al mio fianco, con me.
Quest'amore è un motore.
Okay, well, technically we have now made it to a new country, which is Vatican City. We are in the famous St. Peter's Square here. First time I ever entered a new country with no passport check or border control. But obviously it's a special situation here. Everyone gathered around checking out the sights, and we are gonna see what we can visit. So initially I had wanted to go into the St. Peter's Basilica, which is back there, but I realized all these people here are actually in line. This line like spirals all around here in the square, and it's like an endless line, so we might have to settle for the other sites, which are still cool. Okay, so after waiting in another long line, we have made it into the Vatican Museums, which is a series of museums in Vatican City. And as a bonus, here is the St. Peter's Basilica behind me.
Con lui volando lontano dalla terra, dimenticando le tristezze della sera, in paradiso oltre le nuvole, pazza d'amore come le lucciole.
Okay, it's a new day, and we have some beautiful weather for exploring Rome today. Our commute into the center of the city didn't go quite so smoothly because you can see our bus had a bit of a malfunction, so it's not operating anymore. But we still made it into the city and have some exciting exploring of Rome today.
Out in Santa Monica, Erwin got it bustin', bottle goose into the hotties. They look like they want me. Whipping birds along the strand, it got us racing through the palm trees. Burning a gram, pass it to her while she work on a tan. We going ghost and we.
Alright, here we are at one of the most famous landmarks in all of Rome, the Pantheon.
Trouble, but you know I love it. I found me a Madeline Klein, and I'm on a catch.
Okay, now we made it to the famous Trevi Fountain. You can see it is clearly a beautiful fountain, but also that means it has become one of the most popular tourist spots. You can see just how crowded this area is. Granted, this is midday, so if you want it to yourself, come in the early morning. Alright, we're now at the Spanish Steps. Look at how many people are here. Okay, so now we decided to go for a bit more of a peaceful vibe, and we are walking through Villa Borghese, which is this big park in the city, which also has a bunch of museums inside of it. Well, so much for a peaceful vibe. Apparently there's some big event going on here in the park today. Alright, today is a very big day because we have made it to the most famous attraction in all of Italy. Of course, I'm talking about the Colosseum here in Rome. Check it out.
Quando ami da morire, chiudi gli occhi e non pensare.
Alright, we have now made it inside the Colosseum. We are at the arena area. You can see the underground area there and everything around me in the Colosseum.
Che non poteva più volare.
Alright, now that we have explored the Colosseum, we are headed to explore the nearby 3 sites of Palatine Hill, the Roman Forum, and Imperial Fora, which also have a lot of cool Roman ruins, and they're included if you get the combo pass from the Colosseum website, which is what we did.
Warm air, you're there, every minute's endless. Oh baby, you're my breeze. Sapphire skyline got me feeling reckless. Don't need no reality. Come on.
Alright, so here walking through the Roman Forum, it is much bigger than expected, but it is so cool and unique to be able to walk directly through all of these ancient Roman ruins. Okay, now we are ending our day by doing an Italian cooking class where we will be learning how to make fettuccine and tiramisu.
But I'm gonna start with a little surprise. Yep. The white from the yolk, doing a little bit of this. Motion on the edges to make bravo, and then now bravo, you should get this. Biscuit on the surface, like this. Remember your friend apron? Do this. Okay. Use some of your weight, for sure. Press, stickiest part, it's always there, so you remove it and flour it, and it gets less sticky. Let's try it together, okay? When you got 3/4 of your board, you're great, okay? Not overachieve either. And we do the second thing, we add the second group to the original nest. Voila. Okay? Oh, gotcha. Now I can feel a lot of tension underneath. Shake, shake, shake. More. Bravo. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. 3 minutes. 3, 4.
Okay, so today we have our final train ride of the trip. But before that ride in the afternoon, we are stopping by the Galleria Doria Pamfi, which is another one of the famous art galleries here in Rome.
motore.
Alright, made it on to the final train of this trip, headed south to the city of Naples. Alright, just arrived in Naples. This will be our home base for the final few days of our trip as we explore the city and embark on 2 exciting day tours to the surrounding area. Alright, it is a new day and today is all about exploring the city of Naples. Naples is a really interesting and vibrant city. There's these small streets with shops and markets and energy everywhere, and it is one of the best places in Italy to really immerse yourself in the history and the culture.
Con lui volando lontano dalla terra, dimenticando le tristezze della sera.
Our first stop of the day is here at the Naples Underground, which is a series of tunnels and caves running underneath the city, dating back thousands of years with uses anywhere from ancient Roman aqueducts to World War II bunkers. So it's one of the really unique things about Naples, and we're here to check it out.
Mind a little something. Gelato got me soaring. Out in California, sun started rolling. Mind a little something.
So the underground was super interesting. Some of those tunnels were so tight that you had to actually walk through sideways. So very cool experience, and now we're spending the afternoon wandering the crazy streets of Naples and doing some exploration of the city.
Quando ami da morire, chiudi gli occhi e non pensare, il tempo passa, l'amore scompare, la danza finirà. Una notte a Napoli, con la luna e il mare, ho incontrato un angelo che non poteva più volare.
Alright, after another couple of hours of walking, we have finally made it to the area of Posillipo, which is way out on the southwest side of Naples, and you can see it's a nice area with these beautiful scenic views of the Gulf of Naples, city of Naples back there, and Mount Vesuvius in the background.
Notte senza stelle, solo luci giù in città. Magiche atmosfere, questo ritmo porterà. Se ti senti solo, basta chiedere alla luna. Spoglia di segreti, il lato oscuro brillerà.
Alright, today is the second to last full day of our trip, and it is a very exciting one because we are doing a day tour from Naples to the Amalfi Coast, and we are stopping in 3 towns. Currently, we are in the town of Sorrento, and after this, we will be headed to the 2 famous Amalfi Coast towns of Positano and Amalfi.
Dimmi un po' stasera cosa fai. Un ritmo di bongo, le danze tu aprirai. È come un uragano che tutto porta via. Siamo stelle cadenti, brilliamo di magia. Una nuova luce splenderà e domani il vento cambierà.
Alright, now we have made it to the real proper Amalfi Coast here in the famous town of Positano. As you can see, it is beautiful with the water, the beaches, and the colorful houses on the cliffs. That being said, I do have to note that it is very busy because it is such a popular vacation spot, and it's also quite expensive, so just be aware. And plus, there are a lot of steps. The town itself has all these windy, narrow roads and a lot of staircases, so come prepared to walk and climb.
Warm air, you're there, every minute's endless. Oh baby, you're my breeze. Sapphire skyline, got me feeling restless.
Alright, last stop on our day tour is here in the town of Amalfi. And as part of this stop, we are actually doing a boat cruise, which is a classic Amalfi Coast activity and one of the best ways to get great views of the coast. So if you want to get a sense for what it's really like to be at the Amalfi Coast, take a look at this giant crowd of people around the ferry. Yeah, and this is October. It's not even peak season, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, we both have been stuck in our apartments for 2 months too long. We don't even get along, but the world just fell apart straight out of the blue. So in my mind I whisper ciao and I take myself to Tuscany, Italy, riding on a Vespa in a sunflower field. Yeah.
Well, that boat ride was pretty scenic. I do have to say, it was probably one of the bumpiest boat rides of my whole life though, so might need to lie down for a bit. But what better place to do that than here at the beach in Amalfi. You'll notice this one is much smaller and a little bit more of chill vibes than the Positano one. But be here for a bit and then we'll get back into the van to take us back to Naples. Had to get myself a famous lemon sorbet before I left Amalfi. Alright, made it back into Naples. Now time to get some food and some rest because tomorrow we still have one more day trip left in this trip. Good morning, we have made it to the final full day of this trip. Today we've got one final exciting day planned because we're doing another day tour to Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius, of course.
Hello. Hi.
Some friendly people here in Naples, but yes, we're doing Pompeii today and then Mount Vesuvius as well, which is of course the nearby volcano which erupted many years ago and has made Pompeii the famous site it is today. Alright, so first stop on this day tour is at Mount Vesuvius. We are doing a hike all the way up to the crater back there and just take a look at the view so far down the volcano. You've got Naples down there, the Gulf of Naples next to it, and I'm assuming the view will be even better up at the crater. Alright, made it to the crater at the top of Mount Vesuvius.
Tra una vita e un'autostrada, somiglianze da follia.
Oh man, it is freezing up here. Big mistake not bringing a jacket, but saw what I need to see. Now time to hustle back down the volcano. Alright, we are now at the ancient city of Pompeii. We are here with our tour guide here to explore the ruins.
Out in California, sun started rolling. Find a little something. Gelato got me soaring.
Out in Santa Monica.
Made it back to Naples for the final night of this trip. Gonna grab some dinner and then I will see you tomorrow morning to close out the vlog. Alright, good morning and welcome to the final day of this Italy trip. We still have a couple hours left before we have to head to the airport, so we are making a quick stop at the Archaeological Museum here in Naples.
Dimmi un po' stasera cosa fai. Un ritmo di bongo, le danze tu aprirai. È come un uragano che tutto porta via.
Well, with that, we have finally come to the end of this 2-week Italy trip. What a journey it has been. I mean, we went to so many different places all around the country including starting in Milan, Lake Como, Venice, Pisa, Cinque Terre, Florence, Rome, Naples, Amalfi Coast, Pompeii. I mean, all of that in 14 days is quite the feat, and I hope this was helpful to you if you are planning an Italy trip of your own. And if you're still watching this video, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it, and I will see you on the next adventure.
Notte senza stelle, solo luci giù in città, magiche atmosfere, questo